guys, welcome back. I'm Crystal, this is Crystal Cluster Gaming, and we are returning to the World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth, where we level from 1 to 60, talk about the stuff I remember from Classic, and probably the stuff that I don't, so that way when Classic launches in just shy of a month, guys, we're in the couple of day marks now at this point, we are going to do it all over again, and we're going to see how much I got wrong. If you've watched my previous episodes, you know that if collecting is happening, there's some collection of wrong. If this is your first episode, however, links are going to be down in the description below, so you can keep up, catch up, and all the other ups that are required. In our last episode, we worked on the Blasted Lands. We traveled that way and did some quests. We helped a dragon deal with some other dragons. It was kind of neat. And then we decided that we really wanted to do Scholomance and Stratholme, two of the game's dungeons. Now, one of them went great. The other one, not so much. And I did kind of have a bit of a nope mode, and I decided that was going to be it for the day, because we were already running over time. But what I did say is in our season, or series finale of this, this one, that we were going to do a dungeon extravaganza where I burned my last 6 levels by doing random dungeons. Now there is a definite XP boost for that, because even queuing for dungeons gets you XP. This is not a thing that happened in Classic, but I figure since it is so much not a thing, that we can actually talk about how dungeons are a thing while we in Classic, how well we do the dungeons in Battle for Azeroth. At least that's my idea. Hopefully I can stick to that, because I didn't really want to stretch this this series longer than its current episode count, so that's what we're gonna do. So strap in as I push the Dungeon Finder button. So in order to make this work the bestest, I know that's not a word, we are going to hit the random group button, the find group button right here. Oh, you can't see my cursor. See, it's flashing. That. We're gonna hit this button. That one, the find group button. We're gonna hit it, and you can see we're gonna get 516,000 or 51,600. I know numbers, and we're also gonna get a random piece of gear. Guarantee we're not gonna get that many pieces of gear we'll actually need. It is going to be random, so if you can see, I've got a list of dungeons here I can get into. First of all, this thing does not exist in Classic. Right from the get, which is why I've been saying previous videos I wasn't going to do it unless you guys told me to. Well, this is my circus. I am the ringmaster. So in Classic, we are going to try to do dungeons as we can, and it may show up in videos. And but we'll actually have to go into town, talk to people, get a group, travel, get to the dungeon, get out of the dungeon. Dungeons take hours in Classic. This will probably take, depending on the group, cross your fingers, my friends in video game land, that it happens more like Skolo and less like Stratholme. Queues take a while, so now we're gonna push this ye old magical button. Wait time is 3 minutes. It did take us longer in our previous episode to get to those 2 dungeons, but that's because I specifically queued for those dungeons, which is exactly what we won't be doing. We are going to try to burn through this as fast as humanly possible. In the meantime, I think we'll head back out to the Blasted Lands while we wait for our queues, because sometimes we'll get speedy queues, other times we won't. And we're gonna get to 60 today, folks. This episode might be a little bit longer than our other videos, because this is the finale, because I didn't want to stretch this any further than it needed to be. This one might be a long one. We'll see how it happens by the time we're done and edited and everything. Where's Hearth? The Salty Sailor Tavern. I think we're gonna actually Hearth, because that'll get us to Booty Bay, and Booty Bay is closer to Badlands. Badlands, yeah, we're in the Badlands. It'll get us closer to the Badlands than flying. Meet you in the Badlands while we wait for our dungeon queues. At long last, we made it through to the Badlands, and we've made it. We actually had to save travel time. I flew to Stormwind, then took the tram, and then flew from Ironforge here, because that was a lot. we're still waiting on our dungeon queue. So we're gonna continue our quests while we wait. So we need 15 beers. We're not gonna drink them all ourselves. We had our one drink in the lost episode that will not end up on YouTube because I totally screwed up the recording. Dwarf wants booze, folks. Wow, this stuff is strong. The good stuff. I got a little proposition for you if you're interested. Those Dark Iron Dwarves were here before Durden and his crew arrived. That means that once these Titan ruins opened up, the Dark Iron Dwarves were the first ones in there, looting all the good stuff. I bet they've still got those treasures locked up inside Angar Fortress, northwest of here. You've more than proven your ability to wallop a dwarf. Head into there, get the thing. Alright, I guess we're not gonna go south because we're gonna go deal with the Dwarven Fortress. 55! We have 5 levels left, folks! We've got another dungeon we can add to our list, the Lower Blackrock Spire. Which is another personal favorite. Actually, no. I did enjoy Lower Blackrock Spire, but Classic Lower Blackrock Spire is confusing. Also, Blackrock Spire in Classic, there was no upper and lower. It was just Blackrock Spire. It was one of those giant, crazy dungeons. Inside the Blackrock Spire, you could also find the Black... could you find it was either the Black Ring Layer Raid or the Molten Core Raid. Because in the mountain, Blackrock Mountain, you had Molten Core, you had Blackwing Layer, the raid. Those are 2 raids. And then you had Blackrock Depths. And then you had, I just said it. Blackrock Spire. Those were the 2 dungeons. So one mountain had 4 pieces of crazy. Oh, hey, Pally. Look, guys, it's the Pally that buffed us. And instead of helping us with the elemental, not that we need it, he just grabs... Oh, here he comes. Whee! Jump over his head. Alright, there's the thing we need. Boop. I think there was a couple different things in here. I feel like I remember there was stuff in here, and I'm having a rough time remembering. Oh, that's something. So I was watching a couple of YouTube videos the other day, and the particular YouTuber I was watching was talking about treasures that... Bow. Where are we? Where's the... This is the extra... Okay. We'll follow him out. He kept from previous expansions, and he was going over a lot of cool stuff that that he had, and it kind of reminded me of a few things that's kind of neat. I still have on my warlock. I logged onto my warlock, which was my main in classic before my switch to the horde. And I've still got my Argent Dawn stuff. I've still got a few tabards, a couple of toys. I still have the original max level soul shard bag on my warlock. I know right now it's a regular bag now because there are no such things as soul shards. Oh, there's my dungeon again, folks. Let's see if it's something we can get in. A couple quests. The dungeon quests I'm not going to read out. Just because we're not alone, so I can't, So if you want to check out the lore of these dungeons, then maybe at the end of these quests, end of the dungeon, I'll read them out before I return them. Other than that, I won't. Oh, where are we? We are in the Sunken Temple, another one of the larger raids, or larger dungeons from Classic, that got nuked to heck in Cataclysm. It is at least half the size, I believe. They didn't split it like they did the Spire. They just took a good portion of it and put it on the cutting room floor. But we're gonna have a lot of fun in some of these dungeons, even if they take forever. Like, not these dungeons. These dungeons, as I said before, we're gonna get by these like nothing. Okay, good. I don't know if I mentioned this last video. I'm a hunter, so in Classic I have to make sure that my pet growl is off. Battle for Azeroth does that for me. So, yay! Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bosses in this dungeon. One of them's a dragon, I think, that got... Because if I remember correctly, alright, this is the lore of the Sunken Temple, was some shit was going sideways with the trolls. They pissed off Ysera, the green dragon aspect, so she took her big foot and squished this under the water. This dungeon is located in the Swamps of Sorrows. So there is a sleeping dragon in here somewhere, I believe. I think it's Shade of Irenicus. I said Hakar, and some of you going, hey, that sounds familiar to a couple of quests you did in Stranglethorn Vale. That is because that is the same dude. The Shade of Hakar. It's his skeleton, his soul, his whatever. Hakar, when they resummon him in ZG, he has a lot more bits to him. He is a lot bigger. Hakar is no more. We have killed Hakar, and there is no loot. Interesting. I don't see any sparkles. Oh well. If we did get loot and it was just a bug, it'll show up in our mailbox when this is also a pretty good place for green dragon scales. For the leatherworking dragon scale specialization, where you made stuff out of dragon scales. I don't think I need to explain that too much. Hopefully we get all the quests. Since this is Battle for Azeroth, sometimes tanks will skip quests just to get in, get out, and go home, get that bonus. So we will see. One of the things from this room is it was so very, very easy to just get wrecked by trash. I remember this boss, this room being very difficult. Alright, the boss has been pulled. His name is Jamal the Prophet or whatever. So we're gonna somebody got turned into a baddie here. Alright, let's get Meowser's health up here. Oh, I'm on the wrong that happens sometimes. I'm on the wrong target. So let's res the kitty. There is also happening to be a little bit of a mind control right now. He'll mind control a random party member and things get awkward. So if we see that happen and he comes at us, we're gonna just put this here. Because I don't trust that stuff. Alright, we got the troll's head. Another quest has been completed by us. Another amount of loot we have not gotten. Loot is player bound, so it's like player bound's not the right word. What I mean to say is it's personal loot. So everybody gets their own piece of gear. Where in Classic, oh, we got some Daggons incoming. See, after you take out all those, technically it's supposed to be after you take out all the dragons, those two show up. They're corrupted green dragons. But what I was saying is, in Classic, it's either free-for-all, group, or master. Oh, looks like we're skipping. We're skipping the Dreamers. This dragon is a sub-boss. He is Dream Scale. His twin, Weaver, we left behind. There we go. That's another boss down. We're actually going for Haz and Morphaz. And then the Shade. Interesting. So these are technically, I would call these sub-bosses in... Like, there were a lot of bosses in the temple back in the day. But this was definitely different. Why are you pulling... Are we about to do all three bosses at once? Oh, this isn't gonna... In Classic, if you pulled him, every green dragon from here to the other side of the temple would come. Either this tank is insane, or they changed it, and by the looks of things, Weaver's the only one that's coming. And not any of the little ones. Which is definitely something that is different from Classic. Because, yeah, you pulled this you woke him up, and he says, evil cannot be allowed to enter this world. Come, my children. That's one down. And actually, okay, we're going after Haz now, I think. In Classic, there where we were fighting all those green dragons, there's a hole that takes you to the slime room. You just jump down. In Classic, it is, or in Battle for Azeroth, it's gone. That was another thing. There's also like a raised area where you have to fight a bunch of troll bosses. There's all kinds of stuff. I can't wait to see this place in Classic. I'm gonna be doing so many dungeons. If I'm not doing them on my hunter, I might record them on my warrior, who I will be playing with my husband. We'll be reliving our glory days as raiders. Alright, and now we just need Weaver down. So you can see now, even though we don't have Weaver killed, all we really needed to do was kill the Shade, which gave us our achievement for the Sunken Temple and our bag of goods. You can see how much experience I got for doing that random queue, and that is why we're here in this episode doing our dungeon extravaganza. We're gonna get a lot of XP. So let's get all the loot. And all that loot means one ring. The one ring to rule them all. Let's see what else we got. And we got a pair of gloves. Very cool. We're going to get rid of the pack leader. Let's turn in the quest. See what else goodies we got. We got... oh, I forgot I was going to read the quests. Oh, well. Oh, we got a trinket. The shade... The essence of Arenicus' shade. That's a cool quest. Let me see. The Hakar blood, the Atali have been injecting into the green dragons. Oh, okay. The Hakar blood that the Atali have been injecting into the green dragons has devastated the effects of on the dragons themselves. It appears these dragons, former jailers to Atali, which Atali was a boss in the Classic one, I think, has been corrupted by its presence in their bodies and have become that of Nightmare. Arenicus, Ysera's primary consort and lead watcher over the temple, was infused with the largest amount. Help us ease his suffering. Yeah, he was a sleeper in the Emerald Dream. I think he just plainly got corrupted. It's, again, been a while. Alright, and the Blood God Hakar. Hakar, the mere mention of the Soul Flayer's name will send many running. The sanctum of the fallen god, the Atali, have recovered a significant portion of his skeleton and seek to restore him to life. Already his children have begun to show up in this area. Place this egg in the sanctum, forcing him to summon prematurely and destroy the avatar, which we did. So go us. We almost got our first level. So let's get out of here. We do that by saying leave instance group. And it's going to take us back to where we were. And Classic, you had to hearth. So we don't have to worry about that. And then we'll queue for another one. Alright. Alright, back to quests. We're going to head to do the All is Fair in Love Ward archeology. Where am I? Oh shit! I got too close to the Horde outpost. Remember how I said in previous videos that I would run into a Horde outpost and not even notice? Guess what I did? Now I'm flagged PvP because I accidentally walked up to a Night Elf camp. Though I would like to say, just because I walked... Blood Elf camp. Just because I walked up to a Blood Elf camp does not mean I PvP'd. They are the ones that attacked me. I did not attack at all. They should have left me alone. And now we're level 56. Seriously? You fracking... To the safety of the Alliance area. I'm going to turn in our quest. Everything is going to be fine.
How are ya?
Alright. Completed that quest. We now got the Warden's Pawn. Once those reliquary honks got here, we panicked. We all just started looting indiscriminately. A lot of bad archaeology happened that day. Luckily, Olga happened upon a small jade statue. We thought it was a key of some sort, but you can't figure out what it we can't figure out what it opens. Maybe you'll have a better luck with it. Find the Tomb of the Watchers. The Sentinel's Pawn. We very nearly had a statue stolen from us by one of those Blood Watcher reliquary stooges. We managed to catch him in the act, and we've retrieved the statue, but it hasn't really paid off. It appears to be a key of some sort. Okay, so it's like literally the exact same quest. The statue slides into place. Cool, that's where that statue goes. As you place the statue in its place, several other statues appear in the room. One more ruby-colored statue also appears in a small enclosure on the far end of the room. You hear a voice. The Sentinel watches, the Sentinel protects, the Sentinel's vision never falters. That red statue on the other side of the room looks important. Perhaps you should see. So, if I understand this, we move that. Then we move that. Then we move that. Then we move that. Alright, hold on. Maybe. Okay, no. So. There we go. So this is a bit of a funny one. Oh, that's the... Done. Alright, the red statue follows over and you place it back in your bags. Cool. Got some good XP for that. Alright, we got some more things to do. You see the statue split in 2, then 4, then 8 identical statues in the square formation. You hear a voice, not through your ears, but in the back of your mind. A true warden does not face outward, searching for signs of danger. A true warden keeps his gaze inward, always focusing on protecting his people. There we go. Done. Alright, Jade, you put that statue in your bag. You heard a good amount of rumbling happen in the tomb's central chamber. Investigate what the oof is going on. Place the pawn identically there. So now that's happening. Oh, hi! Oh, he woke up. Okay, one sec. Meow, sir! Meow, sir! Alright, come on, kitty. We got a stone to beat up. Oh no, he's coming online! The inspection is complete. The statues return to their original positions, but something seems different. The second defender falls to the ground. A chest appears in the back chamber. Could this be what they're protecting? I think so! What do we got? You peer into the chest. Inside the chest, you find a small circular device resting upon a cushion. If there are any Titan artifacts to be found here in the tomb, this is it. And you must bring it back to Dr. Blam. Or Baum? Blam. I think it's Blam. Bring the eye of the blah into the blah into the blah. And we'll get a staff for it that we don't need. Once again, previous videos, hunters used to use melee weapons. In Classic, we will be using a melee weapon. I'm still not 100% sure what weapons to use, but somebody told me daggers. I don't want to be that hunter that goes everything is a hunter weapon. Hey! A wild black egg and one of those weird ugly-ass dragon eggs. Cool. Just one little tiny device. I never did understand those Titans very well. Here's your stick.
You have a great day now.
Thank you. Hey, look, it's flying! Boot up protocol complete. Scanning for objectives. Objectives identified. Scanning. Anomaly detected. Probable source, Azerothian old god. Attempting to exercise something. Anomaly is exercised. Repeat sub-protocol. This is kind of neat. Anomaly exercised. Reassembling something. Visual subject compiled. No anomalies detected. User objective protocol complete. Status protocol re-enabled. So we have a pure dragon's egg.
Can I help you?
Dr. Blam stares at the egg in awe. The silence blinks a few times and then looks up at you. Do you see that? Incredible! My Titan idea thing worked! With your help, of course. We'll want to get it back to Rhea. She's not at the ravine anymore. It sounds like she blew her cover pretty well, so she transformed into her true form in front of all those whelps. She's now in the west at a camp called the Dragon's Mouth. She's waiting for you. Sweet. Let's go. I think this is Rathion's egg, actually. Rathion was a little baby whelp in Mist Pandaria. He is the Black Prince. Oh, we have a rare. Let's kill this rare. And he was out of Legion. Like, he was in Mist Pandaria, was not in Legion, but then his people, the agents of the Black Prince, are back in Battle for Azeroth. So you know that Rathion is nearby. One thing that was really cool, in Legion, we also met another black dragon, a much older black dragon, who was masquerading as chieftain's advisor sort of deal. And it was really, his story was super cool. And Rathion actually goes to the place where Ebonhorn hatched. And that was also kind of a fun quest. Oh, cool. We're actually running into another quest real quick. Third in the Lost, Martek, that guy, and that guy to that guy. Deathwing made quite a mess when he passed through these parts. If it weren't for me, he'd probably still be here. Oh, this is a funny quest.
See you soon.
I remember it well. It was a bright and shiny day. I was just minding my own business, and all of a sudden, Deathwing appeared. I was saying to myself, I'm gonna punch the dragon in the face. Unfortunately, the cataclysm knocked a bunch of rocks and angry elementals everywhere. Blast dang rock elementals, I'll punch you. Okay, this is cute, alright? So, he's making this shit up, obviously, but he's gonna punch this elemental, and we're gonna punch 5 elementals. And then we're also gonna get our dungeon quest. Okay, so we'll get back to that quest, because right now we are heading to Zul'Farrak. Picking up the quest. I'll make sure we get as many as possible to get us where we're going. There we go. This tank's gonna learn bloody quick that you can't go too fast. That'll be another thing in Classic that we examine is tanks. The difference between Classic and now. Because tanks in Classic waited on the healer. The healer was more or less... Like, the tank ran the raid, but the healer ran the tank. Because if your healer wasn't ready, and it went so means no mana for those who uninitiated, that would mean your whole entire party would die. Repair bills were expensive back in Le Classique. So, you see where I'm getting at. And sometimes, some healers weren't good, or some tanks were... Like, stuff happens, right? But that's pretty much how dungeons were in Classic. Now, since everybody's got heirlooms on, everybody's... it's a dungeon finder. The dungeons are shorter. Healers barely run out of mana. That, the tanks can just go wild. And I think that's caused a bit of a problem. Because now the tanks think that everything's fine. They become a little too cling happy. Or pull happy. Like this monkey. Like, he's just giving her, right? But that causes minor tank arrogance. Oh, shit. Hey, guys. We're in Booty Bay now. Alright, guys. I'll meet you guys back at the Badlands. Happened. Take that, dangerous enemy! I'm gonna punch that dragon right in the face! It's cute. It really is. So we're just traveling around, just doing all this stuff. Hey, look! There's Deathwing's human form. He looks like a tool. Punch the dragon. Alright, that part's completed. No, you're telling it all wrong. The day the Deathwing came. The real story. Sounds like an E-Hollywood true story thing. Not only was his story wrong, it was boring, unimaginative, and slow. I'll tell you what really happened.
Have a great day now.
First of all, it was not sunny out. It was cloudy when he appeared. The cowardly dragon must have seen me because he turned away and flew into the clouds. I'll find you in those clouds, you worm, I yelled. I'll throw you to Kalimdor! Luckily, I had been tinkering on my world shrinking device. I decided to keep shrinking the world until I could reach the clouds. Okay. So, shrink the world. 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 Once the world was small enough, I started to hunt for Deathwing in the clouds. Surprise, dragon. I like this story's bullshit, too. They're all little nuts. Where's that dragon? Lucy's gonna catch you. I searched every cloud, but I couldn't find Deathwing. The sun burned me bad, but I got my hands around it. Oh, he found Deathwing, but he couldn't get through. I summoned all my strength, faced west, and threw him to Kalimdor. That was dumb, too. The end. No moral. Wow, Lucy, you need to stop drinking, like, right now. Okay. The day Deathwing came, what really happened? These two have no idea how to tell a story. The dwarf's story is too short. Lucian's tale is a little too tall, if you catch my drift. Also, neither of their stories have hot babes in them. Sit back, and I'll tell you what really happened that day. The day Deathwing came, rained blood from the skies. Okay. Alright. I believe I was showing my motorcycle off to some hot babes. After Deathwing appeared, they became quite frightened. I only had room for one of them. So, let's take the... Let's take the elf. Since we're an elf, we're going to take the elf. Obviously, I picked the night elf. I was just happy to have known you. Oh my god. We rode off into the canyon, careful to avoid the falling rocks. And you'll see there's little things to avoid on the ground. It's like the cheesy dumb, like watching one of those 80s slasher flicks. It's like, you know it's super cheesy, super campy, but you just can't walk away. It's kind of this quest. I'm riding in my motorcycle. What's this say? Oh, speed boost. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! When I reached the end of the canyon, I remembered that my motorcycle could fly. That would have been helpful earlier. Yeah, buddy. Your motorcycle will fly. I flew to the top of the pillar located just north of the canyon. Yeehaw! During the fight, I shared a tender moment with the grateful young night elf. On top of the pillar, I saw him, Deathwing. It's time for the ultimate... Hey, stop it! Guys, cut it out! Because now the dwarf and the gnome are, fine. You don't get to hear about how I beat Deathwing in a knife fight. It's your loss. Because, of course, his two compadres, you know, decided to be dicks. Sorry for the interruption. You've got to admit, though, I made your story better. Next time the drink's on me. Alright, well now that that's out of the way, how about we get back to the whole baby dragon business. Let's chat with Rhea here real quick. I'll take that out of your egg from you. The swift, the fierce, and the stout. In my haste to escape from the ravine, I forgot to tie up one loose end. The dragon. She's free, and she sounded the alarm among the black dragon flight. Half the flight is here in the western Badlands combing for this egg. I'll take care hiding the egg. You're going to take care of the troublesome dragons. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Go back, go back, go back.
What can I do?
Alright. Half-ton holdouts. I'd say we have a dragon problem, but it seems like they're a little more interested in New Karagath than they are our small little encampment. Nevertheless, I've got to the top, my top men focusing on keeping the dragons at bay. One problem. He hasn't checked in. Or he's got that one problem that got unchecked, however, the ogre camp. Okay, so we gotta deal with some ogres. We'll get a new bow. It's gonna be nice to have a bow again. Alright, come down here, talk to the swift. The swift, the fierce, and the stout. Oh, hey! Baylog and Olaf. These guys are important. I think they're from Oldham. One way or another, I know who they are. Alright, you're right, Night Elf. We've been waiting for you. Come on, boys. Let's hunt some dragons. Eric, the utility dwarf. Before we get too crazy with the dragon killing, let me tell you a little bit of how I fight. The swift is what they call me, and here's why. I dash straight into your enemies. Helmet first, mind you. Stun them for a few seconds. Okay.
Off with you. What's on your mind?
Pelog, the glass cannon. Before I start, excuse me, boys.
Well met.
My sword bites like a crosslisk, and my arrows sting like banshees. Sing like banshees. I tend to wear them down quickly, however. Alright.
Your feet on the ground,
you may have not noticed I'm pretty big. So, Olaf is the big fella. He can protect you. He's going to be our tank. Alright, and we also got Victoria Dolan here. Survival of the fattest. We're hard up for supply, stranger. Black dragons raining destruction down on us. Obtain 6 pieces of this and 10 pieces of that. Aid of the Thorium Brotherhood. The Thorium Brotherhood are important. The Dark Iron Dwarves may be scheming and mischievous, but they are not all our enemies. I've spoken with them several times with the dwarves of the Thorium Brotherhood, and they have never been anything but helpful. An acquaintance of mine, Jack Rockleg, came to town not too long ago, asking if I could join him in some expedition. Can you go speak to Jack? Alright. We're gonna go speak to Jack. But first, we're gonna go deal with these dragon quests. Or ogres. A lot of this area was full of ogres, one way or another. There was just a lot of stuff going on. So, we're gonna work through this as we wait for Zul'Farrak queue. Don't particularly feel like dying.
I don't have a target.
Alright, so we're done that quest. That was painful. So now we're gonna go over here and get the silken stuff. You can see we got some mithril here. Mithril and thorium were plentiful in this, like I have stated before. And we're gonna get what we need here. Beat out of here! Run! Get the hell out of here. I don't want to deal with this anymore. Still waiting on that tank for our dungeon. Man, calling us a dungeon extravaganza was like such false advertising. Alright, so we turned in those quests. We got our new bow, which looks a lot like the older bows we've been using. So let's go deal with some dragons, shall we? Oh wow, Zul'Farrak, let's go! So welcome to ZF. We'll try to do this over again. This place has a few cool bosses. There in Classic, there was a chance for a super cool dungeons you can mount in, because it's technically an outdoor dungeon. There's one boss in here which was totally a pain in the ass in Classic, because it was like a wave. It's a wave boss where you have to defeat one wave at a time. From up at the top of a Mayan-looking pedestal thingy. I'll show you guys when we get there. Alright, I got a cape, which has 2 points agility better than what I have. That's actually something I can say. Dungeon groups are usually, at per level, better than what you can find outside of a dungeon. That's actually a really cool cloak. I might use that in my transmogs. There's the DK. Oh, the DK's AFK. Alright. Another thing you can do here that you can't do anywhere else, which is the result of what happened to us, is you can kick people. You can just push a button and say, I want to kick this bastard. And that's what happened to us. That's how we lost our queue in the first Zul'Farrak when we lost our internet. I don't remember which bosses were in Zul'Farrak now, in Classic, and aren't now, aside from Gehenna, the Hydra you needed the gong stick to get. Oh, I think this is also the place where you drop the carrot on the stick in Classic, which was kind of one of the cooler trinkets you could get to help you move really fast into the body room. There's a boss up here, so you don't step on, don't target the mounds, because that's the tank's job. And if he doesn't want you to do that, well then don't do it. Tanks run the raid, healers run the tank. Alright. So we got the witch doctor now. And I can't shoot the witch doctor because I'm on the bottom of the steps, but we gotta take care of the ads anyway. I wish I was a troll, maybe I'd understand that. So you summon zombies that you're supposed to take out. And you're supposed to take out him. So we're gonna take out the ads. Look at that big angry kitty. In front of us, you'll see that temple looking thing. That is the temple I was referring to when I was talking about the wave fighting. I bet you, like the quest we did in Stranglethorn to get the monkeys, it is no longer wave based. I don't know. I actually do not know, but we'll find out. We're gonna take this guy out. That's correct. Now this is where the wave quest is. Yep, there it is, right there, guys. So these guys, Sergeant Billy and his friends, are going to help us with this wave quest, and then they're going to turn on us and they'll become bosses. Alright, that's one of them down. And that's the other one down. Alright, now here comes Shadow Billy and his friends. And we'll see what happens. The Warlock runs off to, and now we have to destroy everybody else. The tank is going to take out all the bosses for us, which is exciting. Again, some tanks do, some tanks don't. Here she comes! Or he, she, it, if... Alright. So, it's that one and the Hydromancer Lord Bitch Troll thing. So we did all the bonus objectives. So now we just need to go get the final boss. Right. Let's begin. This is the final boss of Zul'Farrak, and we can get out of here. It's Chief Yukaz. Look how Big Mouser gets when I do the roar! And Zul'Farrak has been defeated by us. And we get a new pair of pants. It's barely good enough. So we're gonna go now return all of our quests. That one.
Time is money, friend.
That one. So we get another pair of pants, but we don't need those pants. We got some rep that I wasn't even paying attention to. We got a stick, which we don't need that stick, as I've gone through before with the previous stick talk. And we are 2 levels from 58. Man, I was really hoping I didn't have to make this another video on top of this. Returned. Alright, yeah, I forgot. The quest that we picked up. We're stuck. Alright, we're gonna... Nope, can't go that way. Can't go any of these ways. Alright, we're gonna go try to get back to the little town spot. If all else fails, I'm gonna feign my little butt off. Because of course, we went into the dungeon in an area that was highly packed with mobs. So when we came back, all the mobs were respawned. Because that's just how it happens. Alright, guys. Unfortunately, this is going to be it for the day. We did not get to do our dungeon extravaganza full to its completion. So we will see you guys in the next episode where we do the finale part 2. Bye, guys.